I want to thank everybody for coming today in the introduction of the 2017 class of Elmhurst College Football Blue Jays. Excited to take over here. It's been about 3 months now, rather, since I took over, and we've been hard at work on the recruiting trail, trying to find the right types of men to come into our program and continue to raise the bar from some of the things that we accomplished here over the past short time. Wanted to open it up before I get to my class here. Wanted to open it up to questions here in the audience about the program, about the recruiting process, or really about anything over the last few months here, starting my tenure here with the 2013 team. Yes, John?
Coach, there's been a lot of changes with the program since you won the CCIW championship. How do you think the coaching changes affect the recruiting process for the class you brought in?
Well, at the beginning, obviously losing 2 coaches to Division I, it was difficult. We were down 2 full-time coaches. I credit the guys here in our program, the coaches that were with me, plus the coaches that we just hired, and our graduate assistant and intern positions that really helped us kind of stem the tide here in a tough period where you know, it was difficult trying to get to all the contacts that we needed to get to and try to make sure that we were finding out everything we could when it came to the student athlete and finding out if they're a blue-collar guy, because that's what our blueprint is. And as a recruiting coordinator here the last 4 years, I didn't want to change that. I didn't want to change that blueprint because it's worked well for us. But finding those blue-collar kids has been has been a challenge, and we do recruit across the country now. We recruit nationally, obviously because our location allows us to do that, and our academics and our football allow us to do that as well. Yeah, Tim?
Considering the fact the program graduated a number of experienced seniors, what were the most pressing recruiting needs for the Elmhurst football program in 2013?
Obviously, I think from a head coaching standpoint, you win and lose games in the trenches first. And that's a hard thing to say because I'm the defensive coordinator and the defensive backfield coach. But the game here is won up front, and that's where the biggest strides that we've made as a program have started at our interior offense and defensive line. Those were probably the biggest pieces moving forward, especially in this class. I'm pretty pleased considering we have a great group of young men, but we've been able to fill each position. So I'd say interior and offense and defensive line was probably a focal point. Quarterback was a focal point considering we graduated for a 3.5-year starter. And then obviously trying to step in the shoes of a guy like Scotty Williams is going to be no easy task, but I think we've got some young men that I think can carry some of that load. Yes, Jeff?
Yeah, Coach, you guys have enjoyed a lot of success with out-of-state players, i.e. players from Florida, players from Michigan. Are we going to continue to see that trend with this next recruiting class?
Yeah, you know, some of the out-of-state recruiting really came about a few years ago. Obviously, we're going to recruit the best and brightest in Illinois first, and we're going to recruit our hometown, and our backyard. And those are the kids with Midwestern values that we want to try and convince to come here and be part of this group. But again, like I said earlier, because we are at a great institution, we're at an institution with a high job placement rate, and we're 15 miles west of the city of Chicago, which is a world-class city. We are going to continue to branch out. Our administration here has given us the opportunity to get out of state, to reach to places where we have never gone as a football staff, and to get into some states that we've never been. We've always had a Florida contingent here. We continue to recruit kids from the state of Texas and California and Oklahoma, and just to name a few. But that will be a part of this as we continue on. Again, because the administration has allowed me to have a coaching staff that is built on development.
Thanks.
Yeah, John.
With the addition of this class, what is the outlook for the Blue Jays in 2013? And with that, where do you see some of these exciting freshmen contributing the most next season?
Well, when I took the job here, my biggest challenge is to raise the bar. That's what I told our administration. That's what I told our team here. We can't dwell on the fact of where our rankings were and what we accomplished last year. Obviously, it was a terrific year. First time ever going to the playoffs, first time ever winning a playoff game, and then obviously losing by a touchdown to the eventual team that played in the national championship game. So for me, the outlook is pretty simple. It's raise the bar. It's continue to press towards a mark. I've talked to the young men in our group right now that to get to where we need to go, you have to try to do something you've never done. And that's something that I continually press and focus with our young men here is I'm not happy being where we're at right now. And I'm not content. And when you are like that, what will happen is you'll get passed up. And that's not what we're about here, and that's not what we're recruiting. I expect. I looked back at last year's recruiting class. We had about 10% of our freshmen really start to make some strides towards the middle and the end of last season. And for us, we play in the CCIW. All right, it's one of the top conferences in the country, and you can't be successful in our league playing a lot of young players. So we want to have a chance to groom them and develop them as coaches, coach them up, get them faster and stronger. But I do expect to see a few of these faces. Obviously, in our program, because of our numbers, everyone that we recruit has an opportunity to compete. That can't be said with some of the larger teams out there. But we have a small, very intimate football team, and it's about development of student athletes. And that being said, I think from that standpoint, the freshmen are definitely have a chance to come in and see who can get it, who has that it factor, and will definitely be in the mix here, if not early, maybe mid to later in the season. Is there any more questions before I get started on my recruiting class? Okay, I'm going to go through, talk about briefly about each young man who has decided to give their commitment to us. And when I talked about commitment to each one of these young men, I talked about the commitment of a 4-year commitment. And we're committed to them, not only in the classroom, in the weight room, and on the field and socially, but I asked for their commitment to us as a program and understanding what blue-collar mentality is and what that means to live that every single day. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the stars here. Start off with Noah Bednarik. He's a long snapper from Walled Lake Western out in Michigan. 3.25 GPA, multi-year starter in football. Connor Brewer, athlete, running back. He's from Hazlitt High School, Michigan as well. National Honor Society member. Was an all-conference football player and wrestler. Chandler Carmer. He's from Leslie, Michigan. Finished up a great season at 8-2. He's a National Society member, a 2-time academic All-State member. He's an All-Conference and All-League player as well, and we're excited about getting him to football. Eddie Byer, definitely blue collar. He's a local boy from Hershey. Comes in, and he's also a 3-sport athlete. Expecting big things out of Eddie. Aaron Cadat from Wheaton North High School. Had a great high school year, finished 10-2 this year. He's an honor roll student and an academic All-American. Zach Campbell from Muskegon Catholic Central in Michigan. Played quarterback as an athlete. Track and field, 5-time All-State athlete. He's also honorable mention Detroit News. Kyle Dalton from St. Lawrence High School here in Illinois. Has our presidential scholarship here at Elmhurst, which is the highest academic honor you can get from a scholarship standpoint, and was a first-team All-Catholic leaguer. Drew Domino, quarterback from St. Thomas Aquinas in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Drew comes from one of the best programs. Coach Casula does a great job down there, from one of the best programs in the entire country, and we're looking forward to seeing him compete. Tom Finucane from Downers Grove South. Our senior is a kicker. Our senior kicker, rather, has one more year. We lost our punter. This was definitely a chance to go out and find a guy who can definitely compete right away. Tom's has some great academic awards as well. Dustin Hake from Tuscola. Sister actually goes to school here. He's got many numerous academic and athletic achievements. He's an all-state academic player. He's a unanimous all-conference linebacker and was the heart and soul of that Tuscola defense. We are really excited about having him join us. John Clan from Manuka. He's going to be playing on our defensive line. Again, another one of these high academic guys that we brought in here this year, and holds the Manuka all-time bench record at 350 pounds. So excited about John. Nolan Copleen from Oswego East. He's a National Honor Society member. He's also a defensive back, one of my position groups. He's a 3-year varsity football starter, and really eager to learn and get to see him in action. Charlie Krieger from Grand Ledge, Michigan. He's a defensive back. Had a great senior year as far as win-loss record. He's a National Honor Society member. He's an all-area honorable mention and an all-conference player. Connor Langley, for defensive end from Rockford Boylan Catholic. Boylan has continued their dominance in the state playoffs over the last couple of years. This was an opportunity for us to pluck one of their guys away, and he's an all-conference honorable mention player, as well as a 3.15 honor roll GPA. John Lesiak from Marengo. John is an athlete, played quarterback in high school. He's a big, tough, rugged individual, and he's also an all-conference player his junior and senior year, so looking forward to working with him. Jacob Mazenga from San Diego, California. We went out to the beach out there and plucked one out. So Jake had a great year this year at linebacker. He's an Athletic Scholar Award winner there in San Diego. He's an all-county and all-conference linebacker that we're excited about working with. Moses McConnell from Peoria High School. He's on the Peoria High School honor roll. He's an academic all-stater, and he's an all-conference player. Comes to us as a wide receiver, and we are excited about his deep threat capability and moving the ball down the field. Chris Morgan from Holt High School. Played a lot of different positions. We're recruiting him as an athlete, running back. He's a 2-time academic all-conference player. He's a 2-time academic all-conference student. So he's a great package of both. He's a very, his energy is infectious and will carry out throughout our team. Tevin Miles from St. Charles High School in Missouri, linebacker. He's a young man that has a great skill set, has a great nose for the football, and looking forward to working with Tevin. John Overton, Ravenwood High School in Tennessee. Plays quarterback, but he plays like a middle linebacker, has that type of mentality. He's a honor roll student and also plays rugby, so you can't question his toughness. Looking forward to working with him. John Pincus from Portage Northern High School. Had a great year his senior year. Is a 3-time academic high honor guy. He's also a second-team all-conference player this past year and was voted the most valuable player on his team. Looking forward, he's a very athletic quarterback. Looking forward to adding him into some of our packages here. Sam Rathbun from Hazlitt, Michigan, offensive line, National Honor Society member, and this past year was voted into the Michigan High School All-Star Game and is also an honorable mention selection at All-State. Billy Schaefer from West Catholic High School. He is an honor student his senior year, and he's also an academic All-Stater and a North Team honorable mention as far as football accolades. But looking forward for him to solidify some of our holes moving forward in the offensive line. Tyler Schwartz from Huntley. He's a defensive back. Had a great senior year. He is he's an Illinois State Scholar, a National Honor Society member. He's an all-conference football player. He's a very quiet young man, but his play lets him does all the speaking for him. So I'm excited about working with him in the backfield here. Tyler Spike from Neuqua Valley. Great connection here. His dad is actually a adjunct faculty here at our college, so we're excited to have him here. He's a two-year varsity letter winner and also an all-conference and all-area selection his senior year. I'm expecting big things from Tyler. He's got a great frame and a great motor. Cal Verchota from Elmwood High School here in Illinois, defensive line. National Honor Society member. He's also also won all-conference awards for not only football but basketball as well. So very versatile, very athletic. Looking forward to working with him. Mike Weaver from Vanden High School out in California. He's a business marketing major. He's an honorable mention linebacker this year, his senior year. Also first team all-area and honorable mention all-county. So he's got a huge frame on him. We got to pack some weight on Big Mike, and but the future is really bright for Mike Weaver. Ryan Weir from West Chicago High School was one of our first commits this year, a defensive back. He was a DVC academic all-conference selection. He was also an honorable mention all-conference player this past year, and graduating a four-year starter at defensive back. We're excited about adding him in our defensive backfield. Zach Weiser from St. Joe High School. Zach is a rock of a man. He is a big man up front with our offensive line, and we've had a great relationship and great luck with those young men from St. Joe, Michigan, and Zach's going to continue that legacy. And finally, Cody Zumwalt played tight end here. He's from Newport, Indiana, North Vermilion High School. He's an academic honor student, and he's also a all Wabash Valley first team player on his high school football team. Had a great high school record this year at 12-1, was the heart and soul of that team, and I'm looking forward to getting him out of Indiana and getting him up here towards Chicago and seeing what he can do for us. So, but that's a lot of our class here in brief. There are a few that are still remaining out there. We'll close up this class here within the next few weeks. We're currently in spring football, so putting a lot of attention on the development of our players, and just wanted to let you know it's an exciting time in Elmhurst football. I'm excited to take over the reins of this program. We've got a great staff. We've got a great group of young men who are currently here working and scoured the country to try to find blue-collar mentality out there, and I think we found it with these young men. So I'm excited about giving them my 4-year commitment, and I'm excited to work with them. So any questions in closing? Thanks everyone for coming. First game will be September 5th on a Thursday night, 7 p.m. under the lights, Langhorse Field. Be there.